I watched the original Frankenstein movie for the first time. I've always enjoyed the few old monster movies I've watched, but I've never sought them out. The other day I watched a video from Cinemassacre. There, James Rolfe lists a bunch of sci-fi movies. A lot of the movies on the list are movies I've always wanted to just sit down and watch. This is about an old A film, one of the king of the monsters, Frankenstein. Before I watched the film, I knew what I was getting into. I mean, this monster movie is the pinnacle of popular culture. I know the famous line, "It's alive!" And I knew there was a moment where this monster showed its human side. But even when I watched this film on my iPad Pro with its dual-layered OLED screen in a dark setting, not exactly sure what the actual screen technology is called, this meant that the scene where the monster comes alive was really pronounced. For those that don't know, OLED blacks are black. The individual pixels are completely shut off and the white pixels are turned on, and the iPad screens can get pretty bright. So the flashing lights and the sound of storms, the crackling electricity, as well as the well-acted anticipation from Dr. Frankenstein made an overplayed scene a perfect moment of sensory manipulation. I was able to imagine myself in a 1931 theater. If I was a normie in that time, I would most definitely have sensory overload. I would not be able to rationally hold myself together. I'd think I'd actually witnessed life created in front of me. Then there's the scene with the little girl. I've heard this time and time again. This movie's about life, what makes us human, why is it dangerous. This monster was created a short time ago, so his mind is childlike. He wasn't created with bad intentions, he was given bad intentions. From the moment this monster was created, he seemed to have good intentions. Since he was a danger by design, he was treated as a monster, therefore became the monster. Now when he threw the little girl, I was honestly a little shocked. That was not a part I remember hearing about, but honestly it made sense. Here was another moment this monster had another good intention go wrong. He has a childlike mind, but an adult body. This mismatch is a creation spawned by the man-made nature of him. Something I found interesting was the brain scene. I know the scene is from early beliefs that evil brains differ from normal brains, or that you can calculate who a person is by how different their brain is. While there are studies that go into how exercising the brain develops more wrinkles into it, I don't think anything expands past that. I guess you could argue about the neurons, synapses, unique connections, but let's be real. Once the body is dead, the brain is in a jar floating in liquid. Those cells are dead tissue soaking up whatever substance is in it. Then again, this is Frankenstein we're talking about. I guess what I'm saying is, this can be viewed as an example of eugenics, but I believe that in this movie they used a brain from a criminal and still the monster acted as a blank slate. I kept asking myself, why did they include the scene if the monster was not a criminal by nature? Was this an example of fallacies of eugenics? Who knows? Yes, even though this was likely a big production back then, it was still obvious the exterior shots were shot in a studio. I think aspects like this feels comforting to me. It feels human, that many modern day films fail to do. I feel like anything with CGI is essentially a cartoon with live actors. This feels like a group of people coming together to tell a story with the things around them. They are speaking to a man presenting as a proposed monster, not to the air where a cartoon monster will be projected after the fact. I enjoyed this film. I thought it was going to be boring, to be honest. I understand why it's a classic. My mind has definitely been changed. No amount of parody will take away the characteristics of this film. I definitely give it a watch.